50 Shades Darker stars Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan, and is the sequel to 50 Shades of Grey. And after the last one ended with Dakota Johnson telling Jamie Dornan to not contact her again, he contacts her in the first 5 minutes of this film, and they get back together because who needs narrative pacing? Now, the only impressive thing I found about the first 50 Shades of Grey movie was that it was able to make sex boring. Yes, there are lots of flaws, but they're all things you kind of expect from Twilight fan fiction, but to make sex boring, how is that even possible? Like, yeah, it wouldn't make the movie good if the sex is entertaining, but at least it'd be something. And I gotta hand it to this movie. They find a way to make sex even more boring. This movie is called 50 Shades of Darker, but there's nothing dark about this movie. This movie is very vanilla. Just like the sex, that's what he calls it, vanilla sex. This movie is vanilla, it's toothless, this movie has no bite, has no rhythm, it's not even sexy, it's just a snooze. Jamie Dornan might be a little better in this movie because the last one he was so stiff. And this one he opens up a little bit, but I actually think that Dakota Johnson regressed a little bit in this movie. She still pretty much carries the movie and makes it as enjoyable as it possibly could be, but it's still just a little bit less effective, I would say. I just think that maybe she's just trying to play withdrawn and mousy more in this film, even more than the first one, which doesn't make sense story-wise, or really why you'd want to act it that way. The biggest problem with this movie, though, is actually the direction the plot takes. I don't know if the book is like this, 'cause I've never read the book, but in this film, there's no conflict, because all they ever do is talk out what they should do, and then they have sex. Like, great for them, but watching people agree on stuff is not interesting, and just it doesn't have anything that actually keeps you interested. There's a couple of random subplots that are thrown in there to try to cause some drama, but really this is just very boring. In the first half of this movie, there's a lot of like just really boring dates, and they do nice things for each other. Ooh. And then once you get to the second half, this movie gets weird. Like, it gets like levels of camp that doesn't even make sense for a big budget movie like this. And honestly, it made it a little entertaining for that little stretch where it got ridiculous. So I have to give the movie a little bit of props for that. I think that this movie doesn't take itself as seriously as the first one, which I think causes it to be a little better. It's a little better. It's also maybe just a little bit better acted, and maybe the plot is a little better paced. Even though I made fun of the pacing at the beginning, it's still better than the first one. But overall, I just don't think there's a lot to be said about this movie, because there's just nothing to it. It's just sex and no conflict. So, I mean, if you really want that, you can just go buy a cheap porno. I'm going to give this a D. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. But what did you all think of 50 Shades of Grey? Did you even see this movie? Because honest to God, who cares? And like the video if you liked it, and you can subscribe for more movie reviews coming in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.